Let us move to the next important natural resource, that is water. Life only possible on the surface of the earth because 75% of earth's surface is covered with water. Are you getting my point? Water plays an important role in maintaining the life. In fact, 70 to 80% of human weight is because of water which is present in our body. In the absence of water, there is no life, right? This much important, this much precious water. Though 75% of Earth's surface is covered with water, in that, much amount of water is not for human use. It is in the form of saline water, which is present in the seas and oceans. Availability of fresh water on the surface of earth is very less. Are you getting my point? But water is very much important to maintain our life. As terrestrial living organisms, we cannot survive in the saline water because our bodies are unable to tolerate the high concentration of salts which are present in the saline water. If you see, each drop of water is most precious. In some places in India, especially if you go to Rajasthan, the place which receives very little amount of rain, the scarcity of water in Rajasthan is very high. In some places in India, women are spending so much time in their life in fetching a small vessel of drinking water. Why that situation has arisen, have you ever thought? People are indiscriminately wasting an important natural resource, that is water. Even in our homes also, we every day observe, we will be releasing the tap and keep on brushing our teeth. Understood? Buckets and buckets of water we are wasting in our homes. Thank God we are able to get drinking water. There is no problem of water in our area. But if you see, there are people who are walking kilometers and kilometers of distance in fetching a small vessel of drinking water. Even in our places also, we are buying and getting drinking water. So water has become a valuable or precious resource on the surface of earth. Are you getting my point? Why I am telling here is human activities are polluting one of the important natural resource which was given as a gift to the humans, that is water. I will give an example how human activities are destroying the quality of water. I think as Indians we all feel proud to say the largest river in India, and even for Indians that river is equally treated as a goddesses. It is what? River Ganga. And mostly Hindus in our country believe that if you take a bath in river Ganga, you will directly go heaven, right? So I don't know whether if you take a bath directly if you go to the heaven or not. I am not going to talk about it. But now you go and take a bath in river Ganga, there is no doubt surely you will be going to the heaven, because one of the most polluted rivers in India, if you take the list of them, the first place is occupied by river Ganga, and it is because of human activities. River Ganga, from its birthplace, where it has taken birth in the Himalayas, Gangotri. From Gangotri, approximately 2,700 kilometers, it is traveling on its way, where it is going to merge in the Bay of Bengal. Where is it is merging in Bay of Bengal, mixing in Bay of Bengal, near Ganga Sagar. Near Ganga Sagar. So from its birthplace Gangotri to Ganga Sagar, approximately 2,700 kilometers distance it is traveling, and on its way it is touching so many, approximately 100 big cities in India. So in each city, river Ganga is completely turned as a drain. People are indiscriminately throwing non-biodegradable and biodegradable waste. Idols of gods and goddesses. Understood? And these people in many places, especially near Kanpur, the river Ganga water completely turned as a drain, and if you go there you can see the bird. This water is not fit for human consumption. What a tragic condition, pathetic condition river Ganga is facing now due to human activities. And even all over the from all over the country, people are carrying the unburnt corpses, dead bodies, ashes of dead bodies that carrying and mixing in the river Ganga, and many of the dead bodies they are burning nearby the river Ganga, and they are mixing all of them in it. So completely the quality of water in river Ganga has turned as a drain water. Are you getting my point? So in different parts of river Ganga, Pollution Control Board collected the water samples and they tested the quality of water which is present in river Ganga. In each drop of river Ganga water, they found millions of coliform bacteria. What did they find? They found millions of coliform bacteria. It was surprising for them because coliform bacteria most probably it lives in human bodies. Are you getting my point? So each drop of river Ganga water contains millions of coliform bacteria. How was it possible? They were thinking. So this coliform bacteria entered into the river Ganga through human defecation. Defecation in the sense some of the idiots, they are defecating nearby the river Ganga. Through their feces, when the rain comes, these feces mix in the rainwater and it is being flown towards the river Ganga. So like this, river Ganga water completely turned as a drain water. Because of whom? Because of human activities, because of their exploitation, because of their over usage. Understood? So in 1981, in the previous class you have already learnt about it. Indian government started a program, cleaning program of river Ganga, what we call it, Ganga Action Plan. Crores and crores of rupees government is spending in the purification of river Ganga water. One side they are starting to clean, the other side the people are again adding the waste. So what I mean to tell you here is, once if you exploit or once if you destroy the natural resource, again we cannot get it back. Are you getting my point? So once if you completely exploit it, after you should not just say I can't do anything. Just before that we have to think. Are you getting my point? Especially water, which is a wonderful liquid, water which is a precious resource which is given by the nature for us to lead our life, we have to save it. We have to conserve it. Are you getting my point? So to save water for the future use, when India is under the British rule, they started to construct dams. Are you getting my point? So these dams were constructed across the rivers. There were so many uses, advantages and disadvantages in the name of construction of dams. Let us see. So what are dams? Dams are constructed across the rivers to save large amount of water. So let us see first what are the advantages of construction of dams. Advantages of construction of dams. First and foremost advantage of construction of dams is large amount of water can be stored for the future use. Huge amount of water, large amount of water can be stored for the future use. Whenever there is rainy season, whenever we get sufficient amount of rainfall, by constructing these dams, we can store huge amount of water for future use. Second important advantage of construction of dams is this stored water can be used for production of power or hydroelectricity. By storing water in the dams, we can produce power. We call it as what? Hydroelectricity. And this stored water can also be used for irrigation. Huge amount of water which is stored by constructing the dams can be used for irrigation. Whenever there is no rainfall, whenever there is no bounty rainfall, whenever there is a scarcity of water, this stored water in the dams can be used for irrigation, so that we can raise the crops without waiting for the rain. So like this, by constructing dams, huge amount of water can be stored for future use, which is also can be used to produce electricity, and the stored water also can be used for irrigation wherever or in whichever place there is no bounty rainfall. Are you getting my point? So these are the advantages by constructing the dams. There are some disadvantages also. A coin always has two faces, right? So here advantages we have discussed. Let us see what are the disadvantages of construction of dams. Disadvantage of constructing dams. The disadvantages of construction of dams can be broadly categorized into three groups. Three different types of problems people are going to face by constructing the dams. Among them, the first and foremost one is social problems. First one is what? Social problems. And the second one is economic problems. Third one is environmental problems. Third one is what? Environmental problems. What do you mean by the word social problems? If you see, to construct a dam, huge amount of forest area need to be cleared. And as I have already talked with you, there are so many people, tribal people taking shelter in the forest. Are you getting my point? So in the name of construction of dam, these local people, those who are taking care of the forest area, those who are playing an important role in the conservation of forest area, are forcibly going to be evacuated from that place. They are not ready to leave the forest area because they are living in that forest area from their forefathers onwards. So there will be conflicts in between tribal people and forest officials when they are constructing the dam. Why are they fighting with the forest officials? When they are forcibly making them to evacuate that place or empty that place, at the time of construction of dam, politicians or officials will be giving so many fake promises. We are going to show you proper rehabilitation. We are going to compensate you with some money. We are going to show you livelihood. Like that, they will be giving many fake promises and they are not going to stand by them. After construction of dam, they will forget about them. Are you getting my point? So, have you ever heard about Tehri Dam Andolan? The dam was constructed in 1970s and till today also the people are struggling and fighting for their compensation and rehabilitation. Are you getting my point? So like this, there will be continuous conflicts in between government officials, politicians and local people. For what? For their compensation and rehabilitation. Are you getting my point? So this is the first group of disadvantage, social problems. Understood? Local people and forest officials, they will be continuously having conflicts. Why are they having conflicts, local people? For their compensation and rehabilitation. And the second important disadvantage is economic problems. Construction of a dam in the sense, the money from where is it coming? That is coming in the form of taxes. The money which we are paying to the government in the form of taxes is going to be invested in the construction of dam. So many of the contractors are lobbyists. Are you getting my point? Huge amount of public money is going to be wasted in the name of construction of dam, and they are not going to maintain the quality of the dam. They only consider filling their pockets. Are you getting my point? So important other disadvantage is huge amount of public money is going to be wasted. Public money is going to be wasted by the lobbying contractors. That is the second disadvantage. Third important disadvantage is environmental problems. To construct a dam, we need huge amount of wood and timber, and sometimes the river may flow through the forest. So forest area need to be cleared. Are you getting my point? When deforestation is occurred, huge amount of biodiversity is going to be lost. Are you getting my point? So one side deforestation leads to the loss of biodiversity. So deforestation even leads to the loss of the quality of air, quality of water, quality of the soil. Are you getting my point? So like this, it leads to environmental problems in the form of deforestation or in the form of loss of biodiversity. So this is about advantages and disadvantages of construction of dams. Then you may ask a question, teacher, you are telling that dams, no doubt they are helpful for storing huge amount of water, but other side construction of dams have many problems. So how to avoid them and how to overcome these problems? Are you getting my point? So let us see what is the solution for that in the next coming video.